you marry people to secure your future. It's like that, and it's not a swear word. It's an investment plan. You are investing. We've got a culture of us breakers, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sharp. Gets ordinarily struggle credentials. Honey or Sobukwe? Choose one.
Honey.
Honey. Okay. Honey, by the way, is Chris Honey, the revolutionary. On property, which advice would you take? Titimba or DJ Phonic?
I've not been much of the follower of Phonics, so I'll say Titimba.
Titimba. Okay, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King Jr.? Anything?
I'll say Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Cryptocurrencies or the traditional investment plans?
Traditional investment plan, but it's also subjective.
Yeah, please. In this instance, now I give people a chance to explain.
Yeah, looking at the kind of the sector, the market that I'm in, the cryptocurrencies investment where one will have to do it themselves because it's more emotional based, and the traditional investment, you can also give it to a financial advisor to manage it for you. Yeah.
So you would choose the traditional investment plans, any of those products that.
Because that's the space where I excel in.
So you're more comfortable there.
I manage people's money. I don't gamble with people's money.
Right, sure. Jesus or Muhammad?
Jesus, of course. I'm a Christian.
Thank you. Lesotho or Swaziland?
Lesotho would do. I frequented more Lesotho than Swaziland.
Okay, sharp. And then Julius Malema or Andy Lemqitama?
The better devil will be Julius, the other one.
Okay, Julius takes it.
Of the other.
Stain City or George? Where would you want your property to be?
I would say George.
George.
I would say George.
Okay.
There's reasons, of course.
Okay, please explain if you want to.
Yeah, because looking at the two, I think it will be unfair to compare the two because the other one is more residential, and in George it's more commercial properties for holidays and all the likes. Yeah.
All right. So George, this one is a deliberate Jeep or VW.
I own the two, but Jeep will do. Jeep will do because of its lifestyle.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Mara, you did VW lifestyle. Why? So why did you divorce VW for Jeep?
VW has got certain age. Has got a certain age.
Oh.
So I think on my
late
20s, early 20s till late 30s, I was more of a VW person. But with there's a high risk with VW.
Yeah.
With drive on a high speed and all the likes.
All right.
So with Jeep, then it manages your speed.
All right,
so you just enjoy the ride. You
sure.
don't hear someone having an accident.
On a woman, boobs or dimples?
No boobs, of course.
Boobs. Instagram or Facebook?
I think I'm still conservative. Facebook will do.
Facebook, okay. Just for the purpose of the audience, who are you and what do you do?
All right. Yeah, my name is Tabane from a company called InvestiPlan. I'm a wealth manager, stroke financial advisor, stroke independent broker. So what we do, we are independent brokers contracted with different insurance companies and different fund managers. So our role is to create value for clients. We manage people's money, we manage people's estate, we help you to calculate your cost of death because, of course,
cost of death.
You wake up, drop dead tomorrow, then
there
you
must
need
be
your family
management
to continue with the same standard of living.
Okay.
So we more geared for continuity post-death.
All right, thank you, because that is the reason you are here. You know, like I told you when you come, so we discussed things based on an African. Let me tell you. Someone said, people are always bickering about generational wealth. The easiest of things to do, people are complicating it. So generational wealth, he says, You just get a life cover. You teach your kids how to manage money. Once you are gone, from them they will never struggle because you've bequeathed all the wealth that you had with the kids, and they'll just continue. Their role is just to hand in the baton, just to make sure. It's the simplest way of talking about generational wealth. Is that accurate?
Yeah, before I respond to that, let me make a disclaimer that
yes.
The view represented here are my personal view, that are the views of the company.
Okay.
But for introduction purposes,
Yes.
I cannot detach myself from the company.
That's very good. Thanks for that.
So, in coming to your question, you left the wife. You're busy. You're talking about kids.
Yeah,
so
no.
there's husband and wife and the kids.
Thank you for doing that.
So I think basically that is another form of creating wealth. People had always say, I think we need to be frank.
Yes.
People have always said white people are getting richer by day. But if you look at in ratios, say 40% of white's wealth is not coming from business. It's coming from issues of life cover. Then you have got a good or enough cover for that would be your family, would be your wife, of course, and children.
Yeah.
And it does not mean that when your kids starts to be absorbed by the corporate or start to work, then you need to remove them from life cover, because that could be a stipend that will be able to help them in a case of your death. They could be able to squash off their debts.
Yeah.
Equally, your wife will be able to squash off her debts in order to make your estate to be liquid.
Okay.
But what your kids inherit from you, it will give them a financial freedom earlier in life. So if, let's say, the child is owing, or your son is owing a house worth of $1 million and you're leaving $2 million behind, he'll be able to squash off $1 million house and be left with $1 million. If you have started a business, you can use part of the other $1 million to inject into the business to grow. Because we know in our society we are told of this agency and this agency.
Yeah.
You hand in proposal and they'll gather dust. But if you have got this kind of inheritance, it can help you to inject into the business, and your business will start to flourish.
What I want to do is, of which I'm struggling with this podcast, is to create conversations whenever someone is here. And it's very difficult when you are having a conversation not to interrupt someone. I'm learning that. You spoke about a wife. In this podcast, it's called Politically Incorrect, precisely because we are politically incorrect. You spoke about your wife. So the assumption is the wife doesn't die and bequeath wealth for the husband and the kids. But that's besides the point. We'll discuss it sometime later. So here's the thing. Let me just give you a typical example. You spoke about death and management of death. Another financial advisor that I interact with, she told me that, as much as you said, white people rely heavily on life covers, and we do funeral covers. So let me. It will be disingenuous of us to ignore the most famous case recently for people to remember. It's Rosemary and Ndlovu. Yeah? So what happened with Rosemary and Ndlovu? Those who do not know, they could just Google her. She was a female cop who got into trouble for claiming families. What she did is she insured Madala, whom the cousin, but she insured him as a husband, as a spouse. And the guy died. She benefited 131,000. And a sister died. She got 700,000 by strangulation. So in the same month, the niece died. She got 120,000. Maurice's baby daddy, her baby daddy, who was stabbed more than 80 times. The guy died, she got 131,000. You see, there's a trend, and for someone who's looking at this, it's very easy to see. It's a trend. Why don't people stop such things? And why do we invest in funeral covers and not this? So this makes me ask this question. How many people can insure the same person? And what is the limit? We're talking about funeral covers now.
Funeral cover, it's not the space that I
yes,
mostly
I understand.
Play in, but I think if I'm not wrong, There was 50 initially, and now it gets to 100.
So 100 is money, or is
It's
it
maximum cover that an
money?
individual could be covered for.
Yes.
Yes. So it's very difficult to.
I deliberately want you to qualify it. 50,000 for one person.
Yeah, the maximum was 50,000. It was then now pushed to 100,000.
Yeah.
That one person for funeral cover can be covered up to 100,000.
One person.
Yes.
Meaning if 10 people have covered this person, only 100,000.
Only 100,000 will pay. So that's why we also say as advisors that people need to communicate with these things.
Yes.
These things of just covering people in private and all those things, because it comes and bites you in the long run.
Because that's exactly why I want us to discuss it, because we're talking about this culture for Africans. We as Africans, we know there's a funeral, and then the struggle starts with what is it? The death certificate. Because so what it means is, so if someone dies, the quickest to claim would be the one who marks that 100,000. I just want to understand that part.
Yeah, as soon as you get a death certificate, you lodge in a claim, and mostly people get a death certificate after the funeral, because most families would convene after the funeral. And then some will say, we took some day off, can you please have a death certificate, only to find that they want to claim the proceeds from insurance companies.
Yes.
So the ones who are more immediate families, they're mostly likely to benefit and exhaust that first 100,000.
Okay.
The uncles, the cousins, and all the like.
Who will then get it after a week or something.
Yeah.
So there's a risk with
back
that.
foot.
So there's a risk with that.
There's a risk. So you need to be open with the family and say, guys, I've insured uncle, I've insured my aunt with so much.
Okay.
So that you can then try to avoid a situation where you are overinsured. But the stock files, the societies and all those things which do not.
It's on a side because it's informal.
Of this bracket that we're talking about.
Yes. So with those on are informal. So do you know a body that regulates such to an extent that an individual like me, I'm not a broker or a financial advisor, that I can say, na esmashiani, I want to check what are the covers under my name. Here's my ID number. I want to check how many people have done it. Or to say, here's my father or here's my mother. I want to check how many people have insured her name for funeral cover. Is it possible?
It's not, because you'd have some insurers who would say, if you nominate someone to be the life insured, they'll call them and verify.
Yes.
Only
by a call.
There's person so and so who wants to cover you. Do you accept? They'll say yes. So some they just leave it, but you don't have any rights. You cannot go anywhere. The financial sector authority, which is FSCA, Conduct Authority, Financial Sector Conduct Authority, is the one who regulate all these things.
Okay.
Yeah. So they regulate what you do in the insurance space. So,
right.
But on where to get if you are insured or not, you don't have any rights.
You don't have.
Even if today.
So that's why this Rosemary Ndlovu thing will just continue.
I've got a lot of questions on that. There's a lot of things that are not answered, because with 700 million life cover,
700,000.
700,000. The life insured needs to know about it, because they need to do medicals.
Yeah.
You complete medical questionnaires and so forth, so no one can complete that for you. So,
remember, with her, she was a cop. She knew this thing. She might have let the person sign without, because that's why I'm asking. Did they call? Do they only call? Because if they only call, I could claim and then put someone else. They call. They think is the same person.
No, with life insurance, you have to be there. You have to the person that it's going to be covered. If it's a life cover, they have to be there and complete the application form.
Okay.
So, because if that is the case where someone completed the forms with the policy owner, so it means that even the financial advisor knew about this scam. So, but I don't want to dwell much.
Let's not dwell much into that, because I want to. So let me talk about. You'll tell me if that's where your field is. Maximum life cover payout. How much? Is it 20 million for a certain person, or how does it work?
Okay, firstly, when you get a life cover, there should be an insurable interest.
Okay.
Then in insurable interest, we do financial needs analysis. And what will guide that maximum life cover would be based on our financial needs analysis. And basically for the life cover, what informs the life cover is your salary, your debts, your dependents, and also estate duty. Upon
Yes.
death, there's a cost of death.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount that you need to pay to SARS. We do that calculation for you. So bringing all those,
Yeah.
they determine your maximum life cover. But in an old way of determining the maximum life cover, would say your annual salary multiplied by 20. If you're earning $1 million, then multiply by 20 will be about 20 million.
So that's your maximum.
There should be an issue.
So let me answer. Let me ask you that question again. Maybe I did not make sense. How much can an individual have a cap? Is there a cap in South Africa, or
There's
is
no
the
cap.
value of a person?
There's no cap.
There's no cap.
Of a person. Yeah.
So someone could be insured for 100 million.
More than that.
Oh, all right. No, thanks.
We're even
Thanks,
doing
thanks.
business assurance where people are owning multi-million business, a business that worth 500 million, and if it's 500 million and you're sitting with two partners,
Okay.
you need to insure them individually about 250 million. So in a case where one dies, the other one buys the shares of the
Okay.
deceased.
Okay, it's fine. So I'm happy you say there's no limit to a life cover. Number two,
Limit is based on
on
the
your
individual.
value.
After we've calculated,
Yes.
because it cannot be me and you.
Yes.
We can earn same salary, but
Yes.
our maximum, we'll have the maximum and we'll have what we require.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to come to this. I don't know if I should say it now or later. I want to talk about wills. Is a will a prerequisite for opening a life cover?
No, it's not.
No. So you could.
A will, its purpose is just to have a smooth winding of your estate.
Yeah.
Because this is your last wish.
Sure.
So you are able to disseminate things that are on your name
Yeah.
to different people through your will.
Sure.
So it becomes the last arbiter. It represents you in your absence.
All right.
So failing to do that, then the masters needs to come in
Okay.
and be able to help the family to wind the estate, but through an executor that you appoint as the family.
The will, how insignificant in terms of being a prerequisite, but in the big scheme of things, in securing generational wealth, how important a will is, and what do you think our people can do just to make sure that a will is an integral part of generational wealth?
Okay. The will, its purpose would be surely to safeguard your wealth, and it represent you in your absence.
Yeah.
Because if I share with you my wish post-death, you're going to remember 20% and 80% you're not going to remember it.
Yes.
And we don't know if you present it to my family, you'd be given the clear view of what
Yeah.
I've said.
Yes.
So these are information that cannot be verified.
Yes.
So we'd say a will is a legal document that
Yes.
would need to have a signature. Then people that will be financially conflicted in the process, they're not allowed to sign the will. You need to get a witness who does not have a direct financial interest on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in general, what it represents your view post-death.
Okay.
And everything that you have said, which is your wishes, will be executed up to the T. Because firstly, on your will, you need to describe how you'd want to be buried. Because it's always conflict where
Yeah.
people would come and say,
How and where?
yes.
And by who?
So someone would say he was born at a specific village,
Yes.
he must be buried there.
Yes.
Then someone will argue back and say, but he has not been contributing towards the tribal authority, so he needs to be fined for certain period.
Yes. Yeah.
Some will say, but it's my husband and we had a discussion that he needs to be buried here.
Yeah.
Then the family who feel they've got a bigger voice and they'll say, no, he needs to be buried at a specific place.
So a will smoothes all of those things.
A will is the arbiter of everything. So
Okay.
the will come and say, he needs to be buried at the specific place. And this is how he needs to be buried.
Okay.
It's a normal coffin and all those things, or what do you call it?
Casket
Cremation.
Casket cremation.
Cremation.
Or yes.
So you need to distinguish, you need to indicate how you need to be buried.
Okay.
So from then, you be buried in that manner. Then you need to then speak about your assets and your marriage contract will then guide on how you're going to craft your will. You're not going to be married in community of property and want to speak as you in isolation. If you speak in isolation from your wife, you're only speaking on your 50%.
Yes.
You're not speaking on your 50.
Two things that you spoke about. You spoke about marriage contract and you spoke about the will. Do you know that we're speaking, this topic is about generational wealth, right? Do you know that there are people who regard marriage as security for generational wealth?
Of course.
Do you have, how do I say, protection for, how do I put it? Protection for someone who, even though the will doesn't represent them, they can fight it off. For meaning, if someone said, I've invested my time in this relationship, but the will does not cover me. So that person would be, for example, if the person has not been married, we spoke about the marriage contract, whatever the regime would have been chosen, but the person is kicked out. But it's his way of generational wealth. That's an investment. Marriage is an investment. Unfortunately, we only realize when we are grown, and they will kick that person out. Do the people have protection there?
It's two ways.
Yeah.
It's two ways. We can define that there's people who want to have marriage as their generational wealth, but it also relies, also depends on you who's getting married.
Yeah.
Because people come and say people don't have anything to offer in marriage, but how did you marry that person in the first place? Because you need to have engagement to get to a level where you say, I'm confident to marry this person. So people get involved in marriage and be in community of property, but they want to, along the line, they want to behave like they are single. When they do their stuff, they leave their partners behind and so forth. So when you get into marriage, you need to consult on different kinds of marriage. And also out of community of property does not mean that you are excluding the other part. You can have out of community with accrual, meaning that, or part of it, that marriage contract is that it helps you to operate as individual and be able to engage in commitment or contract alone, but upon death or divorce, everything comes to one. Because if you are married in community of property, blacklisted, I get blacklisted. If you want to buy property, we are all staff. So it gives some sense of protection if you marry out of community with accrual or without accrual. But it also comes back to the historical facts where parents will come and say, if someone decides to marry out of community of property, it means that they are intending to divorce you. There's no one who marry with the intention to divorce. But yes, things do happen in marriage where you start to feel aggrieved and you start to feel that you need to operate in a certain way. But these things, as in when they happen, you need to communicate and get the mind of another person. Because there's a lot of things that happens in marriage where one would see that this marriage is collapsing and it's getting to a stage of no return, and things will start to go hayway. Yeah, but there's certain things that you cannot protect. You can marry out of community of property with no accrual. But if your spouse played a role, but the law would interpret that the spouse, even if it's a housewife or a house husband, because I think there are some house husbands, so they played a part in ensuring that you get to where you are. There will be some form of compensation in the case of divorce. There is no clean sweep where you just feel that you got your act together. One will just leave. No, it can't be.
Okay, here's the thing. For Africans, I've stated the most common one would be funeral covers. Number two, we spoke about people who go into marriages just to secure this generational wealth, just to make sure that they are cutting the poverty lines in their family. That's number two. I want you to advise me. You work with investment plans. What's the other revenues that are available? Because you stated white people would generally gravitate towards life covers. What other investment plans? Because it's an investment plan. Marrying someone who's wealthy, it's a plan, it's an investment. and I don't want us to run away from it. So what other avenues are available for African people to make sure that they cut this poverty line and secure this generational wealth?
Okay, I think maybe partly to address the part where the other party in a marriage does not be viewed as a person who's coming to accrue resources.
You know, on this platform, we are not going to shy away from the truth because it's not politically correct.
It's not shying away because what I'm saying is that
yes,
the one who failed to be a victim at the time is the one who invited this person in their life, and now they come and.
But they're not victims here. I'm talking about someone who deliberately goes into marriage, because most marriages are by essence. And it sounds like it's a swear word, but it's not. Even in time immemorial, since antiquity, you marry people to secure your future. It's like that, and it's not a swear word. It's an investment plan. You are investing for you and your kids, just to secure generational wealth, just to make sure that this generation and the next generation gets to have a cushion in life. It is what it is, and it shouldn't offend anyone.
You marry someone. Yes. You marry someone to come and build your empire and manage your empire with you.
Yes.
Then, because firstly, if it's just you, with us, man, you can buy a very big
house. A spouse is an investment plan.
Exactly.
Yes. So then we
also, I would say having kids earlier in life. It's part of your retirement plan.
Yes.
Because you have kids later in life, you're going to use your pension.
You see now, you are starting.
Fund this.
You are starting to take off your tie as a professional. You are now understanding me now.
Everything that we do, marrying, it has got its own risk element.
Yes.
So what we also do, or what we also do in investment, is that don't shy away from investing.
Yes.
Manage the risk thereof.
Yes.
Anything that you do, it's reliant on the time horizon. Yes. You put more time, more effort, development, and all this other thing. You can develop your spouse to be whatever that you'd want to see.
Correct.
In managing this empire with you.
Correct.
Same applies with doing the risk profile in investment.
Yes.
You'd come and say, is this the right time
I want
to
you
invest now?
to keep it there so we could give it meat. Yeah. Because it's a brilliant thing. So it answers the question that I asked you before, to say what other investments plans can you do just to make sure that you guarantee this generational wealth? Because no one is supposed to be, this generation, if it's poor, the next generation must be better than this other generation, just to cut this thing. So you said, if for example, if you are a teacher married to someone who is not a teacher, who's below a teacher, this teacher can have resources to empower this one, just so they grow together, and it's a form of investment. That's what you say.
Of course.
Okay, you can. I just wanted us to
We need to develop each other.
To develop each other, just so we make sure that this thing grows together.
We grow together. We don't grow apart.
Yeah. So just to stop your trail of thought, I wanted you to make sure that, because the question that I asked you was, what other ways of making sure that we secure this generational wealth? Yeah.
Firstly, let's say you are married.
Yes.
Or how the life cover things comes in.
Yeah.
If you're earning a salary. From day one, you're earning a salary. With us people of color, you always inherit responsibilities.
Yes.
You start working, you've got 2 kids already, which are your siblings.
Yes.
Then these 2 kids, you're taking care of them. Mm-hmm. What then happens if you die on month 3 after getting your salary of 20,000? Month 3, you blow the 2 salaries, you bought stove, you bought TV, you bought this. Month 3, you die. Mm-hmm. There's that 20,000 worth of your salary. So we always say, when you bring in the life cover, we work on your income, work it over a period of time to say, if you've got so much dependence, you need them to survive for at least the next 10 years. You maintain them with the same standard of living. So if you've got a child who's in grade 5 now, making a provision for that child for 10 years, you know that they would have already finished matric and even university at the time. So you make that provision for at least 10 years, or 10 years or 15 years. It will depend with the last child.
Okay, you can speak.
So when you do that, it's the first investment that we always say. Mm-hmm. Then your investment, where you come and put 5,000, 6,000 and whatsoever, it starts as a savings before it gets to investment. Mm-hmm. How it becomes a saving? You're saving, you're piling it up to do something. If on the first 3 months you have invested 5,000, it's 15,000 and you die after 3 months. The insurance companies are going to give you 15,000. But if you have taken the life cover, that will be able to sustain your standard of living and pay at least 1,000 rand, which includes the life cover, disability, dreaded disease. After 3 months, you get 4 million worth of life cover. This is to your family. As compared to you spending 5,000. You'd have people who mix this thing in terms of priority. Would say, I'd want to invest 5,000. I don't want this life cover. But when you bring this context into reality to say, look at it. You put even 20,000. 3 months of your salary is 60,000, and you're only paying 1,000 rand on life cover. You paid for 3 months, then you get a proceeds of 5,000 or whatsoever million. Where would you start?
I want to ask you about black tax, but before I do, you told me about white people using life covers, right? And we were stuck on funeral covers. Just draw a quick distinction on how a young person can just get the best of both worlds.
Firstly, there's always insurable interest.
Okay.
In whatever that you do, if you're earning. If I look at you, you've got value. And some will say you're worth more dead than alive.
That's true.
Yeah, when I look at you, you have got a value, but there's insurable interest.
Okay.
Yes, but not with me. It will be with your family.
Yeah.
I cannot insure you.
Yes.
For anything. There's no insurable interest between me and you.
Okay.
But then for a young person, I would say invest more, even with your parents. If the parents are young and they don't have comorbidities and all those things, they're still insurable. But if they've got uncontrollable comorbidities, it becomes difficult to get a cover. And while if a person is quite old, it's also difficult. But if the risks are calculated, then you can spend that sum of money. Before you answer,
so you're saying it's also important. Your body is an investment plan in itself. So the more healthy you are, the more value you have. Yes. Okay, continue.
Because you can have money, you can have all monies in the world. What buys you life covers your health.
Oh,
it's not your money.
You might have a lot of money, but you are sick.
Yeah, you're sick. So,
yes. So you don't have value to someone who will go.
From insurance company, you don't mean anything.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Yeah, you become used that. Yeah. You're like a cabbage to a dog.
Yes, sir.
A dog doesn't eat cabbage, so the insurance company will.
That is sad but true. Continue.
Yeah. So would say. We always say, if you're young and you just started working, the first person that you see before you see your doctor is your financial advisor.
Oh.
Yes. So
that's the part we're missing. While we still, as young as I start my career.
Have a financial advisor. You've got people that should be on your speed dial.
Yes.
There's this one who's just obvious.
Yes.
If you're a Christian, it's your pastor.
Oh, okay.
Then you'll have your financial advisor.
Yeah.
You've got your accountant.
Yeah.
And when you're moving up with your career, one way or another, you're going to need a lawyer.
Yeah.
Who's going to help you with mitigation on things. Then the last one is what? Said your doctor to maintain your health.
Yes.
Yes.
So the doctor only comes at the last.
Yeah, because when you continue here,
you
have
young.
Stress in between. Yeah. And things comes.
Yes.
So the doctor will be last. I get this ones, you just activating
them. You're starting your career while you are young.
Yes.
You should be healthy then.
You've got your pastor. You say, I'm going to pray for work and all those things. You get your work.
Sure.
You pay tithe and all those things. So then you then have your financial advisor help you to structure your income.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have your financial advisor. Then you have your accountant.
Yes.
Then you have your lawyer. Then you have your doctor.
Okay.
So these 5 people must be on your speed dial.
All right, sure.
And they should not contradict each other.
All right, that's fine. A quick one. You said, I'll go back to black tax. You said you're a Christian, right? You said you're a Christian.
Yes.
And we've got Jews who are using their religion and culture to grow financially. We've got Muslims who are using their culture and religion to grow financially. So I'll just give you example of 2 distinct groups of people who are using religion and culture to grow. Do you know of anything in our culture besides Stokvel? Because I hate it every time on mass media when they're giving us examples, they always say Stokvel. Is there anything on our culture and religion that helps us grow as Africans financially, just for that part?
It's just that because of greed element,
Okay.
you need to conform with the mainstream.
Do we
When your
have
money
or do we
gets-
not have?
I don't think we have at this
So
stage.
as Africans, we are lacking there.
Yeah,
There are lots of examples from other cultures who are using religion and their culture to grow wealth.
yeah. I think it will not
I see
be-
you are shying away from to say our religion and culture is not helping us to grow because we are financial advice. I don't want to be seen to be doing that, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
I think there's nothing so far because
Yeah, there's nothing so far.
basically we are not united, and you can take it from the
Past.
the colonial outlook where divide and rule was the ultimate, and
Yeah.
it's still dominating in our mind, or it has dominated our mind.
You were telling me about how Africans don't use their culture and religion to grow this exponential wealth among themselves, like keeping the money within and stuff. And I can give examples from the Muslims' cultures. The Muslims have the halal,
councils,
the halal, the councils. The other will have Zionist deputies, what. So it's just an example of what they use. As Africans, what is it that we use? If we don't have anything, but what do you suggest?
We don't use anything, and basically I don't think we'll ever use it. Because whatever that
Yes.
we use, it's more borrowed. And if I can tell you,
Yes.
the element of stokvels have were able to raise a lot of money,
Yes.
but their monies were not placed in the formal market. That's why now you have other fund managers who want to tap into the stokvel, trying to regulate the stokvel and so forth. Because there's a lot of money there, but that is not utilized. It's in the township, it's not utilized. We just circulate it amongst ourselves with no interest or anything.
Yeah, for purpose of this conversation, someone said, yeah, it's stokvel, but we are raising money to go and give people of a different race. We spend the whole year raising money like a stokvel, and then once we get that money, we are going to take it and go and buy at the same retailers. We still have not cut the middleman. That little buy power is not even effective. But I'm not sure. You would tell me.
It's easy to say that if
Yeah.
you don't have an alternative. It's easy to criticize and always put people in a position where they feel like they cannot think for themselves.
Yeah.
Identify loophole, identify shortcoming, come with a solution than to keep on saying,
Sure.
we're going to the mainstream, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yes, the people in the mainstream, they looked at us, they identified us, they did their SWOT analysis, they're playing with us for their own benefit. But why can't we do the same? Play with them or play our own game? Because ground dining.
All right. All right, chap. So let's go back to black tax. Someone told me this. To say, we are complicating black tax. He said, let's put it this way. It's a family of 5. It's father, it's mother. It's 3 kids. So if this firstborn leaves the family house and these people are struggling, it leaves the father and mother with only 2 mouths to feed. So if this person leaves, it's actually not a disaster for the family because they've actually reduced the mouths to feed and responsibilities to feed. So if this one leaves and goes and form and try to grow, what happens is he forgets black tax. What happens to him is he's ensuring and securing generational wealth by cutting the poverty line from his generation. He goes to grow by himself. I'm talking about that firstborn. Once he's secured, then he can go back and invest at home. Chances are the other 2 would have stood on their feet. So because this family keeps crying, it's almost like pruning a tree before it produces fruit. It will not grow, it will stand. So you let the tree grow. And I found it a bit immoral because I'm an African to say this is the best way of keeping black tax. The ones who leaves first, he goes and until he stands on his own, he does not have responsibilities at home. The ones who are left, they have to chip in just to make sure. Because a few generations now as Africans, we have actually proven that this thing of leaving the nest and keep chipping to the nest, this one doesn't grow. And the generational poverty continues. But if this one cuts and tries to grow on its own without black tax, maybe we might have a chance there. That's someone's telling me. What are your perspective around black tax?
Nest. It's a nest that is
Yes.
got a hole underneath.
Yes.
You put the money,
It comes down.
So you're having birds that are living here.
Yes.
Yeah, because they have a taste of what comes in.
Yes.
Then it falls through.
Yes.
But I think in being robust or in being clear,
Yes.
I think we should be the last
generation.
The last generation.
So
of
meaning
experiencing this.
my kids now should not say, "Ish, Papa hana a garage. I must build a garage at home." We can't.
Actually, what you should tell our kids is that your base of life
It's you.
is where I'm at as your parent now.
Okay.
So you cannot be below me when you start working.
So we have a
I gave you the
responsibility.
base. I gave you the base.
Yes.
I gave you everything. You can come from school, don't do anything. You get into your bedroom, study. We have put the solars and all those things. All you do is to study. You will have a bit of a social life and more social life when you're done with your schooling.
So when
but
you say
must be the base as parents, so that, because mind you, as parents, the responsibility is to take care of your child to a certain level. But there's some who comes and give the prize when there's issues of lobolo said,
Yes.
we took them to school. It was your responsibility as a parent
Yes.
to take them to school.
It's an investment.
So now we have got a know-how
Yes.
where we are saying we are the last generation of black tax. So we need to move away from this thing. So this thing, we should not glorify it, because the more we glorify it, it will continue for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
Yes, it's happening, and it's different circumstances from different family. It does not have a script or a manual to it. If you are able to manage it better, manage it better. Because sometimes people, they become under pressure on the basis that I finish school, then I have to take care of my brother and sister.
Yes.
On the side, you have got your NSFAS that you need to still pay. So you have inherited debts that are shrinking your income.
Yes.
For you to grow and just becoming an average South African, it becomes difficult, because your first 20 years of working, you paying debts, you doing this and that. So your black tax on a month to month. If it's your brother, develop your brother for 3 years. You sit down with them.
Or you give them a plan.
Yeah.
You don't automatically withdraw.
You sit
give
down
them
with
a
them
plan
and
to
plan.
say, I
What
can
do you want
carry
to
you
do?
for this.
Yeah. There should be a time frame.
Okay.
I'm going to help you to study for the next 3-4 years. Then I'm done with you. Then I help the sister. You come in, we help the sister. We quickly help the sister, 2-3 years, done. Taking care of parents.
Is it not a baton? You help the brother. Once the brother is fine, you help the sister. What is it?
It's not automatic that you might get work same time.
He might trip and fall.
Exactly. It's not automatic.
Yes.
Yes. But you can be able to guide them to say, let's do this, let's do that. So you also help them with the career guidance as well.
Somebody said we simplify black tax as if we're saying the family has money to take care of all the kids at the same time. Someone said maybe the firstborn, they sacrificed all the other kids to take money to invest in the firstborn, so the firstborn can go and find greener pastures and harvest and go to come and give it home.
Was
So
that
it's
communicated?
No. So because that his success is actually the success of everyone, and I thought that mentality, it makes sense. But isn't it what makes black tax to keep continue chowing us?
But it must be communicated.
Yes, to
on
say
how it's coming to play.
yes.
You don't come and surprise me in the long run and just speak, live in the kitchen, go into your bedroom and say,
Yes.
I took you to school so you can take care of your brother. No, it needs to be communicated. I thought
Yes.
you were doing responsibility.
Yes.
Your responsibility is with the parent to take me to school.
Yes.
But the other plan, I was not aware.
Yeah.
Communicate this plan.
Okay.
So the same applies with issues of life cover as we're talking about them.
Yes.
You got 20 million of life cover, but you can't teach your kids to manage 100 rand.
Yes.
You can't teach them to manage 50,000.
Yes.
So, but you want to surprise them with
So
20
this-
million. You're setting them up for failure, and they're going to blow that money in 6 months.
To avoid I blew it for Africans. If you do maybe 5 million life covers should you die, it will be useless because it will be a nest with a hole that is leaking, because that 5 million, they will blow it either way because you have not taught them how to manage money. That's what you say.
Exactly.
So you reckon that's why Africans deal better with funeral, vision, so, and then the money is over. We have not gravitated there.
You look at each other tomorrow, you fight over your parents' house, and it just becomes something else.
Okay, tell me, what's a broker, what is an investment planner, and what is a financial advisor? I want to ask you a question depending on these answers.
Okay. I think all of them says one thing, but it takes a step further. A financial advisor will be someone who's advising on someone's finances.
Okay.
But that financial advisor can also extend and become independent. Independent, it means that it's not tied to one company.
Okay.
So if you're tied to one company, you're called a tied agent.
Tied agent.
Tied agent.
Okay.
But you still remain a financial advisor.
Are you able to give examples in industry to say this company, if someone works for this company only?
You work for Old Mutual, you give advices, and
so someone who works only at Old Mutual
products.
Okay.
Independent, I become contracted with different insurance companies.
So you can work for Old Mutual, Sanlam.
I don't work for them. We've got a service level agreement.
Oh, okay.
I place certain products of my client with them. I place certain product with company X. Because what I do, I check your risk profile and say, where do you suit better?
Okay.
But if I'm a tied agent, I'll always tell you where I am, it's better than everyone.
No, I understand.
So, but with different basket, my view become independent. I'm not loyal to a specific company because there's not any loyalty product or loyalty programs that they give us or incentives that they give us. Okay. But if you're a tied agent, you can be told if you perform so much, you'll get a trip to Zanzibar. So what you do is to push volume.
All right.
You push volume so you can go to Zanzibar, but you're not giving the value to the client.
Okay, it's fine. And then what does it mean when they say blah, 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 underwritten by blah, blah, blah? Just explain that shortened part because it happens in financial advisors' adverts.
It's more of a backing. Every insurance company should have a reassurer.
Okay.
Meaning that if all their clients were to die today,
they will not have.
They must be able to service or to pay out everyone who had died up to the last cent. Okay,
put it in layman's terms. Let's say I start Mashiani Investment. I've got 3 clients. If they die, they get 3 million. And I don't have 3 million myself. So explain it.
Mostly you would say, I'm Mashiani, I'm starting this business. I need a license.
Yes.
You'd say, I'm coming with a surety of 10 million.
Yes.
Meaning that from yourself, you can cover, you have got a capacity to pay out 10 million.
Yes.
Then you go and get a reassurer. The reassurer who can take risk from your 10 million and above. Okay. You can have a reassurer who would say, we can insure 20 million over and above your 10.
Yes.
So it means that your people, you can give them covers up to 30 million.
Okay.
Then you have another reassurer who can come and say 50 million.
Yes.
So there's different segments of covers.
Yes.
So that's where the underwriting comes from, or the reassurer comes from. It's just your backing.
So our people are not lucky, maybe with education and maybe with corporate employment. And so in the township, we've got micro lenders. These micro lenders are not the registered micro lenders, but they've got money and money circulating in their hands. It's very critical for township economies and other things. It's very difficult. Most of them don't want to be registered and regulated, but there's lots of money circulating amongst them. What advice can you give them, and maybe to give them or that industry how to self-regulate so that money could be a gem? There are business people who want money, but they can't go to commercial banks because of blah blah blah, and they use these people. There's money circulating on the cloud in townships. In terms of, we are talking about generational wealth and investment, what can you advise someone who's in that industry or someone who wants to join that industry? I know you know little of, but as an investment planner seeing that, what can you advise?
This is the industry that has beefed up a lot of our black community, and even if you look at the likes of VPS, how it started on that context, but then along the line changed to something else.
Yeah.
So we're living in a country that has got its own legislation, and sometimes it's difficult to just move away from the general norm and do something else, because you are kept on how much money you have to keep in your house. You can keep as much money as you can, but it's not your money. The reason why it's not your money is that you don't have to make money common where everyone has it, or everyone can just blow it. It needs to be circulated within channels. The advice is to say, go to the NCR, National Credit Regulator, and apply for licenses and all those things and run a legit business. Because there's other way, of course. You know, when I need money.
Yes.
When I need money, I qualify myself as if I'll be able to pay it.
Yes.
That's why when you borrow money from each other as friends,
it's very easy.
we guarantee you that by next week,
yes,
I'll give it to you.
Yes.
It's only on the basis that you release money.
Yes.
But
once
I'm not even sure that I'll give it to you next week.
Yes.
So this everything that is informal is called black.
Yeah.
Yeah. This market that has been open in the community, it has been there for years. Those people would also have their way of recourse. They give you money, you don't bring it back, then they unleash people to come and get their money.
There'll be people who will want that money.
So there's high risk. You might as well go to the bank and get money there, or get this person who has got their small lending company to lend you money. Because the recourse of it is not nice.
Yeah.
They come and take your stuff and even murder you in the process. So it's a good way of helping your brother out. But also the same brother that needs to be helped. They're not honest. Yeah. So that's why these people unleash people to recoup their money.
You play golf. So now is the time to part. It's a parting shot now. You are ending the podcast. What advices can you give?
My advice will be that any individual who's earning an income, who has got a business, you need to have a financial advisor. What helps you with your finances? Because I can tell you that these people, financial advisors, your accountants, your lawyers, they help you with the blind spots.
Okay, sure.
Because it's not everything that you see on your own.
Yeah.
They help you with the blind spot. The pastors will help you with the prayer. Others will help you with the other things. But always have them in your radar.
Okay, thank you. They help you. But here's the problem. In townships, we seem to think, no, we don't seem to think. We've got this fear that, Tamara is a buddy of mine. I play golf with Tamara. So he knows my golf bags, he knows everything, he knows my family and everything. He thinks I'm a high earner where I'm working, and that's why he respects me and all my golf mates. But as soon as I go to him as a financial advisor, then they'll think, oh no, no, he's not all that. All that money that he's talking about and stuff that he does, all those cards are actually not his. They belong to his spouse, others are registered under his father or uncle and stuff. This is why I think, because I've been told, people don't want to go to financial advisors that they know personally. What is that in your industry? What do you do, and how do you help in such things? Do you consult people personally that you know?
We operate the same as doctors. There's financial advisor client confidentiality.
Yeah.
So if I go astray and speak about your finances, then I don't think I'll call myself a financial advisor. So whatever stuff that I know about you, it should remain between us. When you play golf, I'm not playing with my client, I'm playing with my buddy.
All right,
then it ends there.
All right, it's
so fine. You can even go to another person to get an advice.
Okay.
Because I know the close proximity becomes a problem.
Yeah. All right, chap. A parting shot, let's end. What do you want to say? What advice do you want to say?
I'll basically go back to the issues of wills. That will is important to every family. It doesn't matter how much money you earn or how much you own on your asset or with your asset. Because just a motorbike, a bicycle, you need to know where it should go upon death.
Yes.
And your car, you need to specify it.
Yeah.
You might have 4 cars, but you need to specify them by name. You must
Yes.
be able to say where it should go. You need to also safeguard your estate. Safeguarding your estate is to get good covers in place. And of course, you need to invest and do all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Why are you investing? You know your investment goal. Your financial advisor will help you why you're investing, for what purpose. So now, I think, the issue is just to see the financial advisor.
Thank you very much.
Where it takes you.
Yeah.
Because this journey you don't walk alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, chap, guys, we're done.